How are you going to work? It's going to work. Now you look like you're working. What's up? What's up, big bro? I was just wondering if it was working, and there you are to confirm. Thanking you. Thanking you, big brother. I hope you're having a good day. I hope it's productive. Hey, Keith. Hey, my lovely. Hope you're having a good day too. I need a thunderstorm, I think, here. As much as I hate to say, because I need to do some gardening. It's a bit muggy. Okay, so we're gonna. You can't see each other, Keith. And Elder Barry on YouTube, you can't see each other, but Keith meet Barry and Barry meet Keith. Two awesome men. Hey, Becky. Happy Saturday to you too. I hope you're having a good day. Francois. Hello, it's a beautiful day. It is. Sip, says beloved. So I'm seeing chat when I'm saying hello to different people that you guys maybe can't see wherever you are. Facebook can only see Facebook, and YouTube can only see YouTube. Thankfully, with this restream, I get to see everybody. So if it's confusing as to who I'm saying hello to, if you can't see the people, it might be because you're on different platforms. So I'm gonna give it some breathing space, just 2 more minutes. I'm desperately trying to figure out how I just put up Kaz's music that Kaz made me in the start, just so it's not as that awkward wait, that awkward pause for people to come in. And plus, I love it. I love that you made it for me. I think it, yeah, please. Barry, I need to figure out how I actually link Zoom so that I can schedule as I know how to do, and still go through the same camera setup and everything. Then I'll be able to just much more smoothly as well give notifications to people, or not notify them that I'm going live soon, rather than just jumping on. So that would be great if you let big sis know. Francois. Today is Arwayne Steiger's birthday. Yes, it is, and I'm making him something very special that is made by me, from me, because I can say for you and everyone else, I just know I can, that we all appreciate him very, very much. So happy day of birth to our beloved Professor Arwayne Steiger, Professor of Wisdom, Knowledge, Love. Hey, there's my big sister, Susie. So yes, we do. We send out birthday messages to our lovely Arwayne Steiger. Happy birthday, fellow Gemini. And I am making him something from my own hands. I've got a Zoom account. Yeah, Barry, I pay for it, so I should have all of the bells and whistles. I'm just working out how I hook that up with Restream. I could maybe talk to you in private if you know how. That would be great. Happy birthday to Wayne Steiger. So he might show you what I've made him when he gets it, or he might not, but know that I'm making him something special from my own hands. Still preparing Susie something special, but trying to work out the post is a different story, isn't it, Susie? Hey, Kim, and Ellie said K-Box. Hey to you too. She says happy birthday too. Susie says, hello, you awesome people. Favor of love, light, peace, and health to you all. Now, when Susie says it, Susie means it. She has power, will, and strength like a goddess. She is a goddess. So accept that blessing from Susie, and know that you will receive it. She's a powerful lady. Party on. Excellent. Isn't that of Wayne, isn't it? Wayne's World. Party on. Excellent. Yeah, Jenny. Calm down, calm down. Right, okay. So visions have been flowing in. Lots. Sometimes I need some reprieve from them. Sometimes I have to use what I've mastered to use to shut down, because when energies are as intense as they have been over the last 18 months to 2 years, you can get exhausted by the visions that come in, and you have to balance that out. You have to measure that out. So this again is me. That's it, Big Brother. Wayne's World, party time, excellent. I used to love that as a kid. So this is where I'm going to attempt to convey to everyone listening, to my family listening on Facebook and YouTube, the visions, that one of the visions that sort of slip in and out a few of the others, and try and convey them with enough description that I convey them in a way that makes sense. It's sometimes quite hard to translate visions into something that can make sense to others. And so I just invite you to take a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth, filling up right past that diaphragm, circulating the air round. And again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. Once more, in through the nose, deep down past the diaphragm, circulating it round and pushing it back out through the mouth. And then just change the circuit. It releases your brain from the thought that you've been in. So in through the mouth and out through the nose. And try and circulate in a different direction on your inside. Camera's going crazy. Hello, energy. In through the mouth and out through the nose. I'm doing it both now because I'm watching. And in through the mouth and out through the nose. Okay, so we're in a balanced place. Hey, Lucky. Hi, Grandpa Brian. We're in a balanced place, and I just invite you to trust in me, to allow me to walk through your mind for a moment, to convey just one of the visions at least. Let's get just through one of the visions at least. Allow me to walk through your mind with it, and then afterwards we can have some discussion about how you see it, whether you were able to visualize it, and how it resonates with you. Lucky, I'm so pleased to have you here. Beautiful man. And so I want to talk about us being in the birthing canal. There's been a lot of the divine feminine energy coming forward, and I know I've been put in a place and in a time of availability to speak to others about that, and coming into, hey, seeker of truth, coming into the knowing of this divine feminine, birthing itself back into the consciousness of us, having known that it never went away. It was always here for that was accepting of it. You just have to look at nature in this realm to see that. And so it was more about the veil of it was the veil of like a curtain put over the divine feminine, and that's within our own consciousness. And with that, you know, generation after generation, things get distorted, things get convoluted, and the divine feminine got quite downtrodden to the point where a lot of divine femininity within each and every one of us, male and female, put itself to sleep. Put itself to sleep. I've just got to say something, beloved. You are welcome to speak here always. I appreciate you. We love you. And we appreciate what you have to say. And this isn't a space of non-disagreement. This is a space of discussion. and taking what resonates and leaving what doesn't, without any offense. So, beloved, you do speak, because I would miss your voice if you didn't. And so this has been opening up again. The consciousness of the divine feminine within each and every one of us has been coming more to the surface again, and we've been utilizing it now. Hey Joe, now with everything in its duality, we've seen the much more distorted version of the divine feminine, i.e. Feminine attack on the feminine, femininity attacking femininity. And so there's been a lot of the divine feminine in general that's been much displayed. So this is where we see that where this has been coming into the fore, we have been put into almost the birthing canal. And where we've been feeling the contractions previous to this, we've been feeling the rumbling sounds of trouble, of excitement, of change. Right now, it feels like we're in the squeeze, that we're right in the birthing canal of a huge change, a shift in reality. And it feels like it's been induced on one part, in that these so-called powers that be have been sticking up that drip to induce this birth into a new cycle, into a new reality. And then on the other part, there are people who have naturally found themselves in a space of a natural cycle change, a natural change of the stars. And so there's the duality in that. Twins are being born within these two streams of the collective. And so right now we see that the relationship previous to this, while we were sort of in the womb of the age that is passing, that is dying, there was a need, it seems, from these so-called powers that be to have many of us, and to have many of us controlled, yes, but in a space where we could innovate, we could make things, we could think of things that were divine, that were innovative, that brought about us to a place now where we have this technology that I can talk to you now and feel like I'm with you now. Technology that has been life-saving, that has been life-aiding, central heating, being able to use elements in so many different ways in order to create different results. And so it seems this was part of the equation for these so-called powers that be, that they needed this creativity that us as beings bring here, have within this realm. We have the ability to be able to recognize the elements within the things around us and innovatively think of ways to use them and to utilize them and to combine them in different ways to be the alchemists. And so it feels like part of that equation is changing, in that as we're going through these birth canals, it seems that there are plans and agendas from these so-called powers that be, that they no longer need the numbers. In fact, we've gotten again to such a level of innovation that the numbers are detrimental to them. They're a worry to them. They're a threat to them, because with this natural progression of this cycle, for however hard they've tried to condition, control, and oppress and divide, there is still a huge amount of people that have managed to either come into this realm with just a knowing of how things are and seeing them for what they are and seeing through the plans for what they are, or people who have graduated through their life to see through these games, these tricks, these plays. And so there's that. And so these numbers then become a threat. And this would bring us about to the depopulation agenda. This would bring it about to the abortion agenda of aborting a lot of humanity, pulling the plug, so to speak, on a lot of humanity. Because I feel we are in these two very different birthing canals where we can birth through to such truth, to such enlightenment as to what has been going on here for far too long, and create a huge change, i.e. de-seeding, dethroning these shadowy beings behind these puppets of the so-called powers that be. And also the birthing canal of those who are being born into death, quite literally. And so to create the control in numbers, the threat to them, along with the innovation and this awakening that is naturally happening in so many, is a huge, huge threat to them. So they're trying to micromanage it as best as possible. Now, thinking about the special infusion, that went, in a certain area of people's bodies and continues to do so. I warned about these well before they were bringing them out. I warned that there would be 4 specific ones that were coded to certain demographics within the collective, coded to that DNA, i.e. that explains now the plasma drive that they were doing beforehand and during, to gain as much DNA from certain sectors of the community at different times, to finish off the job, kind of thing, of correlating the codes. And so many now have had this special infusion, and many have reacted and have passed on from this realm and continue to do so. The rest are doing what they sort of predicted they would do. Their bodies, it feels, when I'm around any of them or looking at them or looking just through visions, it's multiplying, as I said it would. The substance, the special infusion, seems to be multiplying and adhering to cells around the body. Now, where in ferrets this happens quite quickly, if you just think of body mass difference, we're looking at about a difference where it was months for the ferrets that all passed on. We're looking at a more of a 14 to 18 month, 24 month span for the kickoff point of many of the humans that have had this infusion. And so this is happening as planned, and it's changing the code. It's changing the makeup of that being. Now, what I want to say is that with the rewriting and the redirecting of this code, I feel like any computer programmer redirecting the code, basically they're doing that so that it goes to a completely different source. What I would call a false god, implant of source. And so where we're starting to see the generations and generations and generations worth of programming regarding the religious sect, we're starting to hear, even in the truther community, talks where people are talking live over here, they're talking about rapture and ascension, but then in the same breath saying, I've just come into this, I know nothing, I've never read the Bible, nothing. And that is dangerous, because although they think they're doing good, they don't understand the words. They don't understand that when they're talking about these Satanists who are doing this MK Ultra, that actually they are being part of that by using keywords that they've been programmed to use to gain followers, whatever it might be, without understanding what they are saying. And as a matter of fact, it just acts to be an even wider net to scoop up even more people that will then be redirected to this source code. Sort code, like a bank, they're sorting the code. Now, it feels like to me in this vision that I had, it feels like to me that they are absolutely timing this, that people will be looking to the skies. And this correlates with the soft disclosure of basically nothing that we didn't know before, very little compared to what a lot of us know about the materials that actually have been discovered being used within this realm and that are possible beyond, about this alien agenda. for me, this is all directed, correlated with AI and humans and beings that either are AI, but not as we know it, or dwell within AI very comfortably working together. And so it feels like they are building up to the point of this disclosure all of a sudden because they love us so much, so that people are again being programmed to get ready to look to the skies, to look to where they need them to be looking at a focal point. So we're going to be looking out for key dates of when people will be looking to the skies. In America, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, morning autumn is that it's the 4th of July, isn't it, where a lot of fireworks go off for you guys. I think that is going to correlate to whatever Freedom Day they then decide for the UK too, where they have a lot of people look into the skies. Now, within these people who've had this special infusion, who have now had enough time for their body to rewrite said code, for the code to be rewritten, I feel that this is going to be this rapture type event, that people will actually go to their deaths happy, thinking there is some kind of ascension. And the masses of bodies that I keep picking up on, that they've kept programming us throughout the whole COVID thing, but yet none of us have actually ever seen any piling up in the street with our own eyes, as they were putting out there with the programming with China and whatnot, is that they won't get half as much backlash from the people that survive, because it'll be blamed on, oh no, this is religious, this is amazing. Yes, their bodies might be lying there, but they've ascended. This is biblical, guys, biblical. You keep hearing that. And so there are a lot within the Truth Earth spirituality community that without discernment are pushing this also. That, you know, with this cycle change, there's an ascension happening. Yes, but it's within you, and it is to do with your holy grail, your holy code that correlates to the source of where you came from within this realm. And so I want you to picture, if we look at the disclosure of alien tech, but then, and I'm just reading my notes on this one, I want you to think of the blue that's been coming through for me, you know, with the blue and yellow magic I was telling everybody about. The blue is still continuing. If you look up the blue forum, look up the water situation is going to really change for people if they get their way. Blue. I need to do more videos on that. But this blue beam that all of a sudden people will be looking up to, thinking, wow. Some of them thinking this is religious, this is biblical, and others thinking, oh, this is it, this is the alien disclosure. A frequency being put out by that blue beam that is correlating to the change, the code within the people who've had this special infusion. Picture them all going like that. This would be some kind of rapture story. Now, if you look at rapture, it is a state or experience of being carried away. Now, if you're changing the levels of metals in a body by this special infusion, and you have these powerful weapons that I have seen in my visions, especially of the blue beam nature, if you have that in just the right format, you could make bodies float. You could magnetize them with the ions that are held within that blue stream. You could magnetize the bodies enough that have then had time to build up with this special infusion certain metals that would then react with it and allow the body to look weightless. That would look biblical. Now, it also goes on to say in English, it comes from the Latin word rapio, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, meaning to seize or snatch in relation to ecstasy. So these people, like lambs to the slaughter, would go happily, like they've gotten this infusion happily, and then they're virtue signaling, saying, I'm a good person, yay. This is where there would be this ecstasy type of feeling, this exhilarating feeling just beforehand when they look to the skies and say, oh, wow, everything we've been believing in for so long, it's here. And so that also goes on to say, in ecstasy of spirit or removal from one place to another. Now that got me. In church, rapture means to be carried away from church to heaven. And apparently it discusses it a lot in Thessalonians. So what I pictured was, I saw the blue and I saw this AI machinery that isn't really just like machinery as we know it. It is like codes existing in the ether. What if we are in the birthing canal of a new time loop, or the same time loop, the same powers that be continue in this loop that they've continued for so long, which is how we have these stories of mass ascension or mass tragedy. What if we have, what if we're in the birthing canal now of, and at the precipice of this kind of change, this loop that will continue on the same old story, but is able to be facilitated in the new cycle for the needs of the few yet again. If you picture these codes changing in people's bodies that then correlate to this code that will be absorbing the essence of the human. Maybe this part of this AI or this part of the loop actually can't absorb or utilize the basic normal, if you want to call anything normal, human code. Maybe it can only absorb it once it is altered in a certain way. But maybe, just maybe, it needs that information, one, to depopulate, to have a more controllable number. Two, to reprogram those that are witness to it. But three, to have that elixir, that energy, that if you picture us on this side within this loop that we've been in, within our generations, hearing and feeling the spirits, maybe the last, so-called cataclysm, or the last so-called ascension or mass tragedy, maybe, just maybe, part of this deception, part of this code is able to relate to us by relaying, religious programs, because it has absorbed some of us, so it can sort of impersonate us. This feels like there is a necessary need and will and want from this these so-called powers to absorb a mass amount of essence, a mass amount of elixir, in order to power up the next cycle, the next illusionary program, to indeed feed a certain source point with the energies of many that could then relate to the few that are left. It feels like this is going to be part of the process. And you wonder who's going to be strong enough when these things look so convincing in the sky that they're programming us to see. Who's going to be strong enough to stay in the knowing that this is manufactured, this is part of a play? There are already so many people in the truther community and spirituality community that have gotten so weighed down with the truth and the atrocities that they've learned about happening within this realm, particularly with the children, and the elderly, that many of them are even looking for a savior or wishing for a savior just to make it that bit easier. And so it feels like this thing wants the fuel. It feels like this thing wants the essence or needs the essence in order to be able to impersonate source, a source that others will follow and look up to and be programmed by. So interesting for sure. And that's where I got to with that vision. And it got pretty intense. But it did make sense to me. And I'm getting braver at putting out, because I could tell you some things that I've seen and that has then come to pass, but been made to look like a much more normal version in the news. I'm getting braver because of the point in time that we're in that I don't want to look at myself in the mirror and think, I wish I'd told them. I wish I'd said. So it was pretty intense. So let me know how much sense that makes to you. I'm going to look in the chat room and see if I've managed to convey, because it is difficult to convey the sight, what I see, into words that you'll understand. Which is why I am so grateful for the people here in this chat. I don't know where Keith went. He said bye on Facebook. So I'll see you soon, Keith. Because I can share with you, and you're at either a higher level or same level that you can take it in and discuss without running for the hills. And she's crazy, that British witch. Yes, you did make it to a live show, Truth Seeker. Much love to you. Hey, Becky, if I didn't say hello already, I think I did. Grandpa Brian, Elder Barry, my big bro, holding space. And thank you to my big brother, Elder Barry, and my big sister, Susie. They're always holding space and such good moderators here. May peace and favor find you as well, Lucky, everywhere you wander. And beloved, I hope you took in what I said, in that we always want to hear your voice. It's okay to listen to sometimes I just listen. I know that I need to, but please only do that if you want to do that. Don't think you have to. Hey, Joe. Hey to you. I hope you're well today. What's a bummer, Grandpa? I missed that. Hope you're all right, Grandpa. Joe says, a veil over the divine feminine. Hold that thought. In that, what happens in weddings? Wow, yes, absolutely. They love putting it in the face and constantly powering the manifestation of it, don't they, by doing things regularly to impact it, to compound it. So true, Joe. Let's see. Hey, Paul from Newcastle. Oh, thank you, Seeker of Truth. And Autumn, I love the word autumn. I love the name Autumn. Autumn Joy. You said that about plasma donors too. Oh, yes, thank you, Autumn. That was really intense, but I was trying to scream out to people to say, don't donate, don't. I mean, and it came about not long after I'd spoken that out. A few weeks later, we found out in the UK that every one of the, they were doing it as we need you type of advert in the UK for the plasma. And every ounce of it was sold to Chinese laboratories. Like, why did you need it to sell it? And so they were really studying that plasma. And as well, they need a certain amount of plasma in reserve for themselves that has not had that special infusion. So there's two, more than two probably, but two very definite reasons that they did that. But I'm so glad you said that, because I was alone for a while on that one. Yeah, I agree, Siko. We can't trust them. There is so much power in the blood, more power than they let us know, and I still attest that that's part of the Holy Grail, the codes within the blood, the DNA structure of the being, and that connects to other aspects of that being. And I do feel that they know a lot about how to open up portals with that to places they shouldn't be able to go. Hey, Tessa. Let's see. Seeker of truth. I'm RH negative and would never give them my life force. I agree, seeker of truth. And don't get me wrong, I've had to have quite a few blood transfusions to save my life in the immediate. And I'm very grateful for it. But the people, the beings who are in power of it, it's dangerous. It's not good. It's yes, please tap the like button. Let's see. Yes, Paul, a lot of talk in USA, shortage of water. You're going to be hearing more and more about the water, the water, the water. They're going to deliberately create a problem or a lack. I keep seeing deliberate pipelines all of a sudden bursting, by absolute accident, that will create problems. A zap, yeah, Autumn, a zap of frequency. That's exactly what it was like in this vision. It's all going to happen. Unfortunately, Autumn, I agree with you again. Sometimes I'll have these visions and think, oh, be wrong. Please be wrong. But I agree with you again. It is. People have been too asleep for too long and too complacent in it, I feel, for us not to go through quite a heavy birthing cycle. Oh, there's so much more water. This is the watery planet, and like our blood, replenishes itself. And I've spoken with Sister Susie about this a lot. The oil, the substances of the earth, she is replenished, self-replenishing, like our bodies are, but on a mass scale. And there is so much more territory to this realm alone, to this petri dish alone. I feel like it's lots of big petri dishes. So yes, there are other dimensions, I feel, but I think a lot of different worlds within one realm. If you think of many big, huge, unimaginably big petri dishes, but many of them, I feel that there's extra territories like that we're kept away from, which is why I think a lot of when I say what you do here has an impact in other dimensions, in the spirit world and the physical world, below you, above you, around you, I feel exactly what we do here in this realm, that there's replicas or very differently run territories on this realm that also are impacted by it. But this land, without them doing what they do to create lack, to create chaos, has enough for everybody to be here very comfortably. Very comfortably. Let's see. the thing she is seeing is the double toroidal thing the sun will do. What's that, Autumn? I'm sorry for the ignorance, I'll have to look that up. It's one of the horsemen. Okay, I'll write that down. I'll write it down, I'll see. What did you say? Double toroidal. Okay, I'll look that up. Horseman. One. Horseman. Thanks, Autumn. But it's a jab for that reason. They are disappearing. Autumn, I'm so glad you came on this live. They are disappearing. They are. I've noticed that. Yeah, I've noticed that. Oh, I'm so glad you came on this live. Joe says, let's see, the illusion crafted by the false god and conveyed by the cabal has enchanted the people with false comfort, absolutely. Well, has made people comfortably numb. Absolutely. Let me make you comfortable here, dear. Let me put you out of your pain that I caused. That's exactly what they did. And so people are wide open to accept whatever. They'll actually beg for it and be thankful for it, Joe. Oh, thank you, Grandpa Brian. Says I'm wise beyond my years. Thank you very much. It's related to the old gods for sure, and space, absolutely. We're in the throes of a very, very intense battle of ancients, and we're in it. We're in the birthing canal of it. Thank you, Andrea. Also, it seems like I conveyed it enough for you to see what I was trying to convey. Anyway, what I was trying to say. Yep, here comes Alien Jesus. Here he comes. Thank you, Seeker of Truth. Thank you. I appreciate that. It's not always easy to stick them out there. It isn't. Autumn says, I follow a lot of space news and I can see what you're explaining out there related to the sun. Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Because I don't follow a lot of space. So that's interesting. And the sun is going through a natural cyclical change, but I do feel that it's very different to what we think, that it's an energy point, it's an energy portal. And if you've got the technology to use it, it's a huge energy source. So even that would be like territory for people to want. Let's see. Tacoma. Hi to you. Antiquarian Aquarian Jargo. I love that name. Like my Aquarian Barbarian Theodore, my little one. Thank you, Autumn. I appreciate that. Wayne is a gift to everybody that meet him. Let's see. Francois. I like saying your name, Francois. You shared so much. It takes time to process. The compassionate energies are here. It's just we need to look for them. while media is pushing the mud energies. Absolutely. Absolutely. Do need to be looking for them. Thank you, Susie, putting up my email. So yes, if you want a personal reading or any spiritual coaching, Susie's put in the chat, because she's awesome as she is, my email to get in touch. Joe says, some have been so convinced to accept whatever happens. Imagine the unguarded divine womb, legs spread wide. Please forgive my brutal honesty. No, Joe, no forgiveness needed, because that is what it is. And we see that in the collective, in that the sacred space, that portal that is such a powerhouse, that one can be held in such a small space, but also can literally bring in housing, build housing for a being, in some cases of such magnitude and stature, can actually house that, nurture that it is a sacred space. And they deliberately went for the sex, pornography, pedophilia types of PPPs, all of those to defile the sacred womb, so that we didn't have an understanding of it, and that it did become something that is not revered by women and men alike in many cases. Oh, you're having those outages. I'm sorry, Grandpa Brian, they are annoying, I bet. He's saying he's having outages around here. Don't know when they're going to get to me. Wow. Well, let's hope that you're first on the list from all of our intent from now. Camping time, says Elder Barry. What have I done there? You've had lots of blood transfusions too, Seeker of Truth. Yeah, they're not fun. They feel weird. I know my mum cleansed me a lot when I was needing to have them. They're very they feel very weird. There's a reason as well in certain religions that they're so staunch on not having them. I feel that there's a greater understanding there that hasn't been lost quite as much as to the power in, the Iranians. My mom lived in Esfahan and Tehran for a long time, and so they have a really strict way about them regarding teeth, baby teeth, hair. It has to be buried away, or it has to be discarded or burnt, so that nobody can use it. And when you think about how they can extract DNA from teeth that are dug up from years and years ago, you realize they're not wrong. It's an entry point for very strong magic if you've got that DNA connection. For sure. I know I could do some stuff with it if I wanted to, if I had blood of somebody else, I mean. Elder Barry says that hot old summer sun will make you beg for your last breath, so you best get on the creek bank laying in the shade. Oh, yeah, he's talking to Grandpa Brian. I don't know how you do with some of your weathers. I think it's muggy and warm here. Goodness me. Antiquarian Aquarian, would those petri dishes appear flat from space, I wonder? I think so. If not more donut shaped, or torus type field shaped, which is what I see when I try and remote view that. Yes, which is where I think they deliberately, once they started to see people cottoning on to the FE way of thinking, They deliberately made a huge big deal of it, pushed it through YouTube, Facebook, and all the other platforms, allowed it to be pushed to again dilute that knowledge that was breaking through, that all isn't as it seems. And so I feel that that was another hijack of a movement of enlightenment and knowledge that in its natural state would have built up to scientific evidence, spiritual evidence of a more torus type field, or flat type, shape, building up. So I think if that's answered your question, let me know if I haven't, Aquarian or Joggle. But I think that's what you mean, and yes, I think they would. Suspicious observers. I've heard Wayne say that. Suspicious. Suspicious. Is he on YouTube? Susie will know. I'll check that out. I've heard Wayne say that a few times and I keep forgetting to go and look for it. Oh, thank you, Autumn. Yeah, email me. Love information. Kim says, our homeless by the riverbed have all disappeared in the last 2 weeks here in San Diego. You see, Autumn, we're right. The homeless here, when people were saying, well, we're in this lockdown, what are the homeless going to do? They rely on handouts, they rely on kindness. There are much fewer homeless people in the UK. Nothing's been said about it. It's just like nobody has brought up in mainstream of what the homeless are doing and what we must do to support them during this time. Nothing. It's just like keeps them out of the mind's eye and just conveniently disappear. We've already been doing it. It freaks you. Autumn says, thank you for that, Kim. Autumn says, it freaks me out that I've found a few people who are now all coming together with the puzzle pieces. Isn't that right? Susie would agree to that. You can feel it, can't you, being drawn together with the right people, and then you start hearing these correlating things and nobody knows what the other has said necessarily, but it's making sense and you're like, oh wow, this is syncretism. It's synchronicity. Hi, Andrea. Yes, Andrea says, I interact with beautiful people every day and they are changing. They are becoming very monocentric, and yes, everything is shutting down early and no one is anywhere. Yeah, the tunnel vision is happening, the shutdown. Raven, hi Raven. Comfortable misery in what you know rather than chance change, deeply programmed fear from TV and other media. Absolutely. Mahe Ona, Raven says. I love the Leak Project. Who from Leak Project in Praveen Wayne. Praveen. That's FE, I'll say, because I don't even know if you're allowed to say it now, because they pushed it, didn't they? Then they stopped everybody talking about it. Rex Diamond. I've heard Susie speak about him a few times. Hey, Machina. Hey, Machina. How are you? Yes, we do. It's all about breath. Hey, I am. Haven't seen you for a while. Hello, hello. Really, Andrea? Is anybody else having trouble emailing me? Because a couple of people have said, more than a couple now, have said they're having trouble emailing. And then Andrea has tried desperately. Andrea, do you feel comfortable putting your email up in the chat? Or do you feel comfortable, because this is wrong. Does anybody want to give Andrea an email address she can use to send it, and then you try and send it and see what happens, to see if it's not Andrea, but if it's the information? I don't know, because I really want to see your emails. So glad to see you, I am. Jeff and the Christian whistleblower. Four. Says Peter. Beloved says, to the underground there is difference between being enlightened and not being enlightened. To the enlightened, there is no difference. Well, the blood is still warm and coursing through my veins, so I am good. Yes, you are. I am. Always good, always strong. Raven, you've said that as well, and I forgot to watch that. Soylent Greens. Now that comes up. Was that when I had a vision of them, like dissolving bodies and using? No, I'm not joking either. Raven says Soylent Green, and I am not joking. Fast food distribution, meat factories tested positive for multiple human DNA in UK and the USA. And you know what they tried to cover that up with, Raven? They tried to cover that up with, and people still accepted this, which shows you the devolution of many people in this collective, is that they tried to cover that up with feces. Oh, it's because it's the people serving the food are filthy. It's feces, and people just accepted that and said, "Oh, all right, okay." Now I have seen, I've tasted. The boys were banned. Anybody knows that I am an easygoing mum. I like them to explore. I like them to make decisions. I like to help them, guide them, watch them grow. Anybody takes them to those golden arches, that is them, me and them, done. Nobody would dare, who looks after my children, take those boys through the golden arches, and Abby would never go through either, because I was, looked at as crazy for a bit, but I went on and on and on after taking a bite of one years and years ago and saying, this is not right. And I'm going to take videos of it, Raven, and you'll agree. There are queues at those golden arches, at that fast food place. There are queues, no matter what time. I've tested it. No matter what time of night, since they started opening up 24 hours, no matter what time of night, there are queues of cars waiting. People are addicted to human flesh already. And it has been getting hidden in that side of the meat trade for years. And because of the type that they're hiding, it is full of that, let's say, Andrew loves chrome, which is addictive, it seems. They've been hiding it, and also in concrete. I'm telling you now, I know I'm not wrong on these. I know you're not wrong, Raven, but the buildings, particularly the symbols of ours that they stole, our knowledge that they stole and flipped the symbols upside down and distorted their message, the intent behind them, the ones that are molded in concrete and stone. you bet your life they've got human DNA coursing through them, mixing it with the concrete. A lot of mafia have helped with that. Think of the New York ties in particular. Heavy stuff, horrible. Please don't ever let your children eat at any of them. Any of them. Absolutely, Kim, that all ties into what both Raven and I are talking about, the human compost. Programming it for this vision that you know, that I've had, that this video is about, programming you to be okay with that, to be okay with, you know, using human flesh in that way. Let's see. Okay, watch auto. Thank you, Autumn. You're on fire today. Auto didactic. Auto didactic 2 realms. Thank you. Thank you so much, Autumn. Yeah, don't eat fast food. Especially the deliberately made the golden arches. My goodness, the trumpet sounds for everybody. That is addictive. Those cues freak me out. Literally, you want to just go and break windscreens. Joe, I rely on handouts. Actually, can my benefits be called a handout? Well, no, I don't think so, Joe. Knowing you and knowing the circumstances that you found it in, no. Antiquarian Aquarian says, just be careful about what you get behind, because we create. Yeah, the outside living people are strong, and may they have favor. Yes, we are strong, and I want to let you know, for some reason, Antiquarian, that right now at home, the reason I've been so busy is because I'm building relations in the physical too, for community, and helping to build community programs where we can be teaching our children, using each other's skill sets, and being able to be kind with each other to do that. And that's where the strong is with us. Raven says, cannibalism creates craving and insanity. Look at the fast food people. They also, the zombie TV addicts, they are, Raven, and people think that's so far out there, and it's not. It creates an insanity, which is why we've got just insane puppets, insane leaders in these powerful positions. They're insane. And these people who are being cruel to their own children and to their own animals, who are eating fast food, they're going insane, especially the spiritually aware ones. I still don't understand. Well, I do understand that, but I still don't get it, because the spiritually aware ones that are still going there, I feel it hits them even harder. And I think they go even more insane towards their own animals, towards their own children, towards their own selves, because they know even more so subconsciously that it's not right. But yet, I don't know how anybody can know that and still go there, unless they're addicted and insane. They really are insane, Antiquarian says. Hey, Scotty boy. If I could sing, I'd sing Scotty boy to you. Yes, fast food joints are being used, Joe, to get rid of evidence. Absolutely, and have been for a very long time. So is the making of concrete. Let's see, lost it. So thank you. Seeker of Truth says, thank you, Susie Q. Jeff really does a good job with unindoctrinating people. He does getting people out of that initial block. Yes, 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 we love you, beloved. Need a hug today, beloved. Giving you an energetic hug. No way, Paul. Paul from Newcastle says Romans used blood to make concrete. Really? Wow, thank you. See, Autumn, that's that freaky thing, isn't it? That people can confirm for you out of the nowhere. Ah, Raven picks up on Beloved. Needing a hug. Everybody give Beloved a big squeezy hug. It is gross, the human meat thing. Well, the way we're treating meat in general is gross, but yeah, I think Jeff, time is good for people. That's what I'll say, Susie. Proton mail. Okay, antiquarian. I'll write that down too. Proton mail. Okay, I'll try that, and then I'll see if I'll put that in the next chat to see if Andrea can message that one. Maybe. Thank you for that. Raven says using human stem cells in development of GMO crops and mystery meat in labs. Abso-freaking-lutely. Oh, Raven, I'm going to do a video next because I haven't got Theodore today, and yeah, correlates to that. Believe you me. Taco hell here. What's up, Buttercup? Hey, David. Hey, my beautiful brother. Let's see. I'll look that up, Seeker of Truth, Soylent Greens, because people have been saying that a lot. So the emojis I'm putting up, but yeah, I'll get into the right headspace because along with the vision, sometimes it just impacts it, and you think, oh. Sorry, I'm putting things up on the screen. I'm not meaning to. No, Joe, I didn't. Right, I'm going to sort out my email. All right, I'm going to go and try and sort out this email before I do another show. So be aware you might hear from me again. Much love, much balance, and much wholeness. I appreciate you all more than you know. I'm reading the chat again, sorry. We do treat this planet shitty. We do. And I love it. I love this planet. I think it's a beautiful thing and a beautiful place. You're right, Aquarian. Okay. Love you. Love you, sister.